Christie Arkovich from Tampa, Florida. We run a small law practice, Arkovich Law, that we specialize in student loan forgiveness, as well as bankruptcy and foreclosure options and other debt relief out there. And so I know a lot of folks out there have been laid off from a private job. Maybe you're working part-time, maybe you're doing gig work that's out there now. And basically you're making ends meet, but by doing that, Peter to pay Paul thing, whatever it is, you're actually ending up more and more in debt. And so the time to think about what to do in that situation is now, after you've lost that job or after you are working minimally, in other words, the part-time or gig work. If you look at options, once you are able to be fully employed in our economy, you'll find yourself back in the foreclosure crisis, just like many of our clients would. They went from unemployment to now making, say, $80,000. At that point, they were so far behind the 8 ball with respect to their debt that they couldn't catch up. So they would reach out to us and determine what their bankruptcy options are. And if you're making $80,000, maybe the bankruptcy option wasn't good for you, and you're looking at a Chapter 13 where you're repaying a lot of that debt if, in fact, you have a good deal of disposable income. Now, if you have a high mortgage or rent payment, health insurance, childcare, things that cause that disposable income to drop, that may not be the case. But unfortunately, we found a lot of people would have been very, very helped by looking at their options much earlier than they did and considering a Chapter 7 shortly after being let go from that higher paying job and well before they get the new job, because it could be months or even longer that you get this other job paying what you used to make. And in that case, maybe a Chapter 7 bankruptcy consultation would be wise now to see what would happen. You may be surprised. And frequently, I'd like for you just to get some information about that. A lot of folks are worried about losing their house. Well, in Florida, we have something called a homestead provision. It usually protects the home. A lot of people are worried about losing their vehicle, their car, their truck. Well, we have a $5,000 exemption for vehicles, and a lot of vehicles don't have equity in them anyway. They basically are leases, or what's owed on the vehicle is approximately what it's worth, or within that $5,000 number. So we don't see a lot of people losing their vehicle. Now, if you own a $50,000 free and clear BMW or something, well, yes, you might lose that vehicle. Now, there is a mechanism to keep that in a Chapter 13, but I'm looking at people that basically they owe on their vehicle still, they have a lease, they don't have that much equity in their vehicle, they probably would not lose that vehicle. What instead will happen is they'll get rid of the credit card debt. They'll get rid of other unsecured debt, loans that may have been taken out to consolidate that debt. And one of the things that we're seeing now is the new bankruptcy rules with respect to student loans are going into effect after July 1 as intended. The 10th Circuit ruled last Sunday, and basically said that the injunctions that were established by the Kansas and Missouri opinions will not cause any delay in the bankruptcy IDR program. And so what that means is that if you file a Chapter 13, you're going to get IDR credit, income-driven credit, as if you had made a payment under SAVE or something like that. That is the law, regardless of whether or not you even complete the bankruptcy. So there's some good options. There's also an attestation process regarding federal student loans in bankruptcy that's working very well right now. It will enable you to have a much lower payment and a date in sight for the debt to end in the future. So if you're out there and you're wondering what your options are, please do a session with a qualified bankruptcy attorney to determine, preferably one with student loan experience if you have student loans, to determine what would happen, and do it early rather than waiting until you get the newer job and recognize that, oh crap, this isn't enough to fix this. So I hope this has been helpful. Please subscribe by hitting the like button, the subscribe button, whatever it is. And if you need to reach out to us, our information is info@ChristieArkovich.com, or the phone number is 813-258-2808. Again, it's Christie Arkovich with Arkovich Law, and I hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.